Yes, I am.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the Big Head Light Skin Comedian Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. I got a great show for y'all tonight. Okay, first and foremost, though, let me say this. I'm at a new location. First time ever I've been at a new location, and I'm at 21st Germantown, formerly known as 21st Amendment, right here at 1481 South Shelby Street, here in Louisville, Kentucky. But thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Let me go over a couple of things before I get started here. And the owner, his name is Bob here, and I'm going to go over a couple of things they got going on here tonight. Well, let me go into this, though, first and foremost. Let me give much love to just these 2 or 3 sponsors, because that was one of my sponsors, 21st Germantown, allowing this big head to come here and do this. So with that said, my first sponsor, the Smile Center, here at 7405 LaGrange, Kentucky. LaGrange Road, here in Louisville, Kentucky, the Smile Center. Go see Dr. Kane, a great dentist. He keeps my teeth tight. Matter of fact, he got to replace one of them. But long story short on that one. And also, too, much love to All Good Computers, 8101 Preston Highway in Louisville, Kentucky. They keep my laptop tight. So, also, too, I want to go over here real quick. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, BHLC Podcast. BHLC Podcast. Subscribe. And that's what I'm about. Always subscribe to my podcast because I'm about helping the people. My podcast is for the people, is by the people. Now, before I start this podcast, let me say this too also. There's no right or wrong in COVID-19 and social justice. That's a little bit what my podcast relates to. There's no right or wrong on my podcast. We just sitting there giving our opinion about things. So that's kind of like my disclaimer for anybody thinking about suing me. All right. So without ado, let me bring in my guest tonight. I have a great guest for you all tonight. And I'm so great and so blessed to have her as a guest tonight. She's doing a lot of big things. She does free business workshops. And I'm going to let her elaborate a little bit more on it because she's got such a resume. I got to let her elaborate, okay? So I just want y'all to give her a big head light skin comedian podcast welcome, like I always do. Y'all got to give us some love, though. And comment. Y'all comment, too, because things gonna get we're gonna have some nice topics we're talking about. So make sure y'all comment, and I'm gonna ask things. I'm gonna ask her too. So make sure you comment. So y'all give her some love before I bring her right here. Y'all give some love to make sure I pronounce her name right too, because I've been known to mess up some names. But make sure I pronounce her name right. Her name is Noah Wadnar. Y'all give her a big head light skin comedian podcast welcome, Noah Wadnar. How you doing, Noah?
Hey.
What's going on?
I had to laugh because it's really Nara Winay, but you did better than other people.
I told sometimes I mess up names, but I did the best I could. How you pronounce it? I'm sorry.
Nara Winay. So
Nara Winay.
But when you read it, people be like marijuana. So they thought I was saying it like marijuana. And I'm like, no, my middle name is really Winay.
Don't say marijuana. I get smiling a whole lot. But anyway, Nara Winay. Okay. I'm so glad to have you on my podcast this evening. This is the first time I've ever even took my podcast from where I usually have it at. And I'm just really blessed and grateful to be where I'm at tonight here at 21st Germantown in Louisville, Kentucky. And they got a band going on back there tonight called Sign of the Swarm Band here. So if y'all want to come see them, come down and check them out. I think it's like a $10 entry fee. And they're a really good band. And they got great drinks and food here too. So now I don't know if we got any marijuana, but we got everything else. But with that said, that's why I like to start my podcast off. Now I kind of told them a little bit. There's no right or wrong. My podcast is for the people, by the people, and it is the people. And because the COVID-19 social justice, we just trying to voice our opinion about things going on in life and what we're doing in general with our careers personally. So that's what my podcast is about more than anything. So I always like to get that out of the way off the top. I'm so glad to have you, though. And but I always like my guests to always just give a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your resume, elaborate a little bit about yourself and who you are and what your profession is.
All righty. Well, I am Nara Winay. I'm a publicist. First off, everybody know I'm a publicist. I am the owner of Simply Complete Enterprises, LLC, where we take the hard work out your passion. A lot of people always ask, what do I mean by that? And I mean, when you're a business owner, especially starting up, you don't want to worry about all the back end stuff, the marketing, just all of the things to make your business pop. You want to do the business because it's your passion. So Simply Complete is that one-stop shop. So I have Simply Complete. We do, like I said, public relations. business services, graphic designs, notary, workshops, infographics, help people keep their LLCs up to par, start them, all that good stuff.
Right.
I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast called Chit Chat with Nara, and it's all about the things entrepreneurs don't like to talk about, like being a mom or trying to date. Just all of the stuff we never see people talk about when it comes to being a business owner, because we don't think it goes with it. So I do the podcast. I have a series of planners and notebooks to help entrepreneurs and influencers keep their brands organized. I create an all-purpose seasoning, and I have a mixology and slushy business with my daughter. So that's a little bit of everything I do, y'all. Some of everything. So I totally get it when people say they have to balance everything. Like I tell people, I'm a mom. I'm pretty much a wife. I still work a corporate America job and run these different businesses. So always trying to encourage people to just do it. Like all you can do is do it. So
yeah, you got a lot going on. So you got your hands on a lot of stuff, which is great because we always staying busy and you're trying to help people. You know, one of my sayings, which I was going to talk about here near the end of the podcast, but I'm going to put out there now. I got an acronym that I've been using here a lot lately. It's called LSI. And what LSI stands for is it's kind of like what you're talking about. Learn, share, and inspire.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
And again, LSI. I'm all about LSI. Learn, share, and inspire. And that's what I'm about. So, but that's what you seem like. That's what you're about too. So that's great. You know, and that's what we try to do in today's time because there's so much negativity going on. I'm always about to learn, share, and inspire. So, what we're father do? Let me get. I want to ask you a couple of topics or questions or whatever because I know you're doing business, this and that, and different things in your business. So, I want to. Let me see. I just got a couple of questions to go over with you here. Questions are more than statements. Okay, here's one here. As far as since you got a business, communication in business. How important is that communication with your business? You know, communicating with the people that you work with, and everything.
Oh, it is so important. You know, I remember last year around this time, it was a big thing on social media that business owners shouldn't communicate with customers and clients through Facebook Messenger. They was like, it's tacky, it's unprofessional. And I totally disagree with it. Sometimes you have to meet your customers and clients where they are. So if they're more comfortable reaching out to you on social media, go ahead and give it a try. Everybody isn't crazy on the internet, y'all. Like, so I feel like communication is big. You know, sometimes if I haven't heard from a client in a while, I'll just send them some type of business tip or try to just connect with people any kind of way. Because if you can't communicate with the people you want to support your business, then why are you in business in the first place? That's you have to communicate. So to me, it's super important. And a lot of people think communicating is just sending a text or sending an email. No, communicating can be going to vendor events and passing out business cards, or maybe you want to send out a newsletter. Any type of way where you can keep your customers engaged with you is a form of communication. So you got to do it.
It's very important. And me being a stand-up comedian and having this podcast is very important because I have to when I host these shows, I'll be hosting MC and stuff. I have to communicate with comedians to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether it's selling tickets, being there on time, or whatever. Communication is very important, especially in 2022, because sometimes people think because we got internet, the communication's there. No, sometimes it has to go overboard to make sure we're on the same sheet of music. And as you notice, as I was trying to get you on this podcast, I was communicating with you all the time, even though you see what I'm saying. So I believe in communication because that's the only way. If you communicate with somebody, you really linked with them, not linked internet with them, but almost personally linked with them. And then that'll make you feel better and make you want to do your job. And so that's really important. And you got some people you communicate with. You can tell them over and over again. And sometimes they might not get the message. They may be late. Them are the ones I don't like. But you still communicate with them. Say, man, you got to do better. You know, oh, man, I couldn't sell the tickets, man. Well, why didn't you tell me? Why you wait till the day of the show? But long story short, you still got to communicate with them. You know? So I definitely get, but communication is very, 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 very vital in any type of business you're doing. So I tell people all the time, here's one for you. And I know, you being a female woman in the business industry. I mean, I know a lot of times some people look at women in the business industry. I'm not going to say everybody, but some people kind of don't treat them like they should be treated. I'm going to give you a real quick short story from The Rock.
Okay.
here's what happened. It was a real good comedian. I mean, a real good actor of the big time actor Rock. He had a real good friend, a female friend of his, and she wasn't getting paid what she was worth to do this movie. Okay, and he heard about it. Now, let me tell you what happened. He heard about it. So when he heard about it, he got upset. He told the producer, "I'm not even going to do this film until y'all pay her what she's worth." And they was like, "Well, man, we got to go on and pay her. The Rock, he's the main star. We got to go on and pay her." So they went ahead and finally paid the young lady what she was worth. Okay, now, and they was like, "Well, why were you so adamant about this, Rock?" Rock said, "I'm gonna tell you why. I have 2 daughters. If one of them become an actor, you gonna try to do that to my daughter? I don't think so." He said, "That's why I done it." So that's why I wanted to put that up with women in business. You can elaborate a little bit as far as and you may even have a story to tell. Who knows? So, but yeah.
So actually, that's the reason for the workshop I have coming up September 21st. It's a free workshop. It's for aspiring women entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs that just want to join in, that are already pretty much successful. And the reason behind it is we as women, it's hard sometimes because either we're over sexualized or we're looked at as not being on the same level as a man. And not all men do it, but a lot of them do. We all know about that invisible glass ceiling. Like, we all have learned about it. And I was blessed enough to be brought up by 2 men in my life, my dad and my granddad, that are both entrepreneurs. So I already kind of grew up around the mindset of, oh, I don't think I'll be able to just punch a clock every day, even though, like I said, I'm still in corporate America, but it's more on the salary side. So I have some flexibility. But I was always raised to stand up for yourself, never let anybody box you in.
Right.
So even sometimes let's be frank. If you are a little too dominant, if you show you're intelligent, especially as an African American woman, we looked at as, oh, they're crazy, or oh, they have attitude problems. And no, it's not an attitude. It's just being stern. So I do believe it's very hard to make it in the industry. Let's take the basketball coach for the WNBA. It was such a big deal. I can't think of her name right now. But they made a big deal about her wearing tight jeans and heels while coaching. And I'm like, just because you're a woman entrepreneur doesn't mean we have to wear Dockers and turtlenecks. Like, it's okay to dress. Like, the world have to just get their mind off of that. Everything is negative or perverted. So it can be difficult, but I think the Meg Thee Stallions and the City Girls of the world, even though a lot of people may not agree with the music they create, it gave a lot of women that power and that confidence to say, you know what? So what will somebody think? If this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it. So I do think the paradigm has shifted a lot with women in the industry and just our confidence and wanting to even be bosses. So
And then I think a lot of times, let me just say this to you, Queen, because a lot of men are infuriated by queens because of the way they carry themselves, because of what they do and who they are, their character and everything. A lot of them are nervous and scared of them because of who they are and everything. So what they say is, you know, it's like female comedians. I treat female comedians just like male comedians. They're comedians. They're not female comedians. I mean, they're comedians. And if I was treat her differently, that would be on me as a human being. So we are human beings first before we anything. That's what I tell everybody. So you have to understand that. So I treat you as a human being first and foremost. So, you know, all the way across the board, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff in this comedy business where you could be doing a show with 2 other female comedians, and this comedian's getting more than that female comedian because she's a female. And I'm like, man, it's wrong. You know, and I hate seeing that type of stuff. Treat people as human beings, you know. So it's something that I think in this business that we got to get better at as men too. There's a lot of men that take advantage of it, and which I really believe is wrong. You know, so I say pay a person what they're worth, not because of their sex. So that's what you have to do. And it's up to people too, male or female, to make sure you get what you're worth. You know, you have to stand up for it or don't do it, you know, because if you don't, they're going to keep on thinking, oh, well, they'll do it for this X amount of dollars because they've done it before. No. You know, and that's something I firmly believe in. If I'm going to do something, as far as doing a show or whatever I'm doing, it's my worth. And if you don't want to pay me that, I'm not mad at you. We can agree to disagree, but I'm not going because you're not paying me my worth. So And you have to, and that's part of being who you are, building your character and your worth and what you're doing in your business. So, but yeah, I just know that's a big thing. And I remember Rock was upset. He left the set and everything. So he like, nah, y'all gonna pay this young lady work. Yeah. So and they like, we gotta pay it. We gotta have the Rock. The movie ain't gonna go down. So, but yeah. So I was like, yeah, let me go into something else here. But yeah, I just firmly believe in it. I really do. Where's I guess this one here is kind of well. Let me go into this because this one here is really Brittany. I'm gonna talk about it because I didn't want to, but I'm gonna put my opinion on it and put it up here. The Brittany Griner situation is another female thing, and I know some people are. What's your opinion? I'm gonna let you elaborate your opinion first, and I'll tell you my opinion on it. And everybody has their own opinion about it. So
I would say, like, I'll tell everyone, I do not discriminate against individuals that partake in CBD or THC. It is a free country. Hey,
yep.
It is what it is, basically. I do feel like, as far as traveling overseas and everything that was going on, as an individual, yeah, maybe she should not have traveled with it. I get it. They said she had a prescription and all of that. But I also look at it like, okay, you are a big deal in the WNBA. So if it was something that you would have needed when you got there, they probably could have arranged for a doctor to prescribe it to you there. So I do feel like, okay, well, dang it. In a way, as a professional, she may have dropped the ball, her and her management team, allowing her to travel with it. But at the same concept, 9 years is very excessive. Like, that's kind of overkill, 9 years for the amount that she had in the skin. So to me, I feel like, yeah, I see what people say when they be like, oh, well, she shouldn't have had it. But at the same time, let's be real. They doing this because of everything that's going on. Like, I truly believe if Russia wasn't at war with the Ukraine and we weren't an ally to them, I believe that they would have sent her home by now. And some people could tell me I'm wrong. I'm not a professional in the judicial system, but I can see both sides of it. So I just stay neutral in it. I do hope that she make it back home. But something my dad brought to my attention is there's another individual that's been over there kind of for the same thing. And now their family is speaking out. So I do agree that, okay, you can't just do for one and not the other. Fight to get both of them back home.
Right.
That's my opinion on it.
That's great. That you hit some home with a lot of stuff, some things I really strongly agree with exactly what you're saying. And here's my opinion of it. First and foremost, let me say, I've said this before on my podcast. Medical marijuana is healing people. Let me say it again. It is healing people. Vapor is healing people. So marijuana is not a top-notch drug. Let me just put that out there first.
Exactly.
It's a drug that's helping people, and we have to understand that as people. Now, with that said, yes, she's a big face in the NBA and everything, and she realizes that. Now, I will say this. When she went over there, what she should have done, I think, in my opinion, what she should have done before she went over was got some type of paperwork. And when she first went over and knowing that she had it, had that paperwork, said, look, I got this. So before I even get off this plane, for y'all check me out, I'm letting you know, and get some type of paperwork saying this is for my medical purpose or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So you won't get caught up coming back. So that's the only problem I have with that, because like you said, basically she kind of what you were saying, she's a little bit caught up in a political thing. It's a political thing because of what's going on over in that country. And I understand that, but it's a political thing, and they kind of using her as the face of the political thing, which is unfair to her. Yes, it's wrong to have vapors, whatever, in Russia. I get all that. But like I said, if she just would have had some type of paperwork before she went, she would have been all right. Yes, I hope that she overcomes this, and I hope things get better for her. I really do, because I don't think she deserved what she's getting. Some people say she do but I just feel like she should have had some type of paperwork before she went in there. And being the face of the WNBA is dealing with it too, because she's a big face in the WNBA. But I think one thing I've always learned too in life is, my father used to tell me that the best lesson in life is learning from something and going through it. And you'll be stronger and better from it. So, And I just wish her well on it, but I just wish she would have had some type of paper before she went and got on that plane before she went to Russia. Because and knowing you're going to Russia, that's even more emphasis.
Yeah.
Wow, they are over there. So yeah, so you really had some paperwork and showed it to him, So, but I really do. I hope she beats it and get back her, and I hope she wants to do as much time or whatever. And I know it's a lot of people on social media saying a lot of hateful things, whatever. But only if you're in that situation. That's why I try not to comment too much. Only if you're in that situation. My friend Tab T, she's on here. Woo woo. She publishes books too, so you might need to get with her. Hey, what's up, Tab? Yeah, so maybe she publishes books too, and y'all get books from Tab T. She got a couple books out there. So, but I just know that it's a big thing. It really is, and I just hope she rise above it. I really do and learn from it. So that was the most thing with that. So more than anything, there's one here. It's called, and I really want to know who you are. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. It's for my people, so they really who is Noah whatnot. I mean, if I didn't know you, and I was just we just had this conversation. I didn't know you, not on the podcast, face to face. Who are you to the people here on my podcast? Who is Noah whatnot?
So anybody that know me, if they would say, well, who is Naira Winay, I'm gonna be like, I'm dope. I'm the person you want to mimic. So I always tell people are going to talk, so give them a reason to mimic your dope. Like, no matter what you do, you're going to have a hater some kind of way, but that could be a good thing. But right. I just tell people, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a mom, I'm the person that's going, if a person tell me, no, that's not the right way to do that, I'm going to show you, no, you can do it. For example, nobody believed that you can literally get a website built and have it for more than 5 years for under $300. Wow. I always have to prove it to people. And they be like, no, you can't. I'm like, yes, you can. So then every time I build somebody a site and they only have to pay me $300, they're like, okay, now I see why you said it could cost me a minimum of only this $300 for 5 years. Because people say it can't be done. So things, you just got to do it. I'm always smiling. Everybody know that about me. I
see that. I noticed that you're very vibrant with that smile. Very
I've always been like that, love to talk. Like, you can't stop me from talking. So people will say, oh, she's a vibe. Like, she don't try to be like nobody. I got called lame and corny my whole life. I did not care.
Okay.
And I'm unapologetic. I guess that's the best way to say it. I'm loving. I love to live life in the gray area because everybody act like they scared of that gray area. Like, it's nothing wrong with being in a gray area. The couch in my office is gray. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm just a happy person. I'm big on integrity. I tell people, I'm the last person you have to worry about scamming you, even though a lady scammed me, but I'm going to have to tell y'all about that.
Right,
but,
okay.
Like, I care about people a lot. I love seeing people excel and want to do better, so.
Yeah, I can tell you the whole vibe. I can just tell because you're smiling the way you carry yourself, and I just feel that spirit off of you. You the whole vibe, which is great because people like that, I can get along with easy and talk with easy because you that whole vibe and you always smiling, which is great. I try to be the same way, always smiling. So, and it's just the way, just the way I carry myself. I try to carry myself the way I am. Because most people wear their character on their sleeve anyway, on who they are and everything. So, and usually I tell people this, and it's just my assumption. When you first meet somebody, their first couple minutes, you know if they're the right person to be talking to in that moment.
That's true. That is so true.
It's kind of like doing stand-up comedy. When I first started doing stand-up comedy, I never forget him telling me this at the Comedy Caravan here. He said the first minute or two is so important when you're on stage. He said because you got their full attention. He said and if you lose them in that first minute or two, they ain't gonna feel you. It's the same way when we meet people in general. And like he's telling me, he said don't talk at them, talk to them. There's a difference. So so I can tell you the whole vibe, which is great, because you have such a great spirit and everything, great vibe. People like to be around it, you know what I'm saying? So and that's great, it really is. So one more thing I think I had here, but here's one. Well, we kind of talked about that with communication, but I'm gonna go into this one. Well, here's one that's going to really put you on the spot, too. It's going to really put you on the spot. I'm going to go on and do it anyway. Some people don't know about you. Now, I'll tell you mine.
Ooh, y'all want to know something people don't know about me? Let me think.
Yeah.
For me to like doing podcasting and these workshops and everything. And my dad yells at me every time I call him and say, Daddy, I was so nervous. I'm nervous every time I do something. It's like if I don't be nervous before I do it, it goes bad.
Just let you know you're human, that's all.
Yeah. Like, see, y'all can't tell right now, but I've been tapping my foot the whole time. Like,
you don't look nervous
I have to do something. I got to use my hands, or I got to like rub at my leg. Like, I'm so jittery when I'm doing stuff. It's ridiculous. So that's something a lot of people don't know about me. I'm nervous about stuff about 90% of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, ain't nothing the matter with that. I mean, because like I said, you know, there's things about me people don't know. Some people don't know about me is I don't know. That question's always on my podcast over here. It's just that one thing about me more than anything, I get frustrated easy when something don't go my way, but I've learned to handle it better now, being that I'm a little bit older and everything. Because used to be a time when things didn't go my way, I would get offended and we didn't know how to handle it. You know, I guess I was supposed to be young, but now that I'm older, I handle it better. But I still have my moments. So, you know, and that's the one thing about me. I now know how to handle it. I handle it by just taking a deep breath, think before I speak, and be who I am. And what kind of things I say to myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. Yeah. So, because a lot of times I don't know how to handle it. I'll be like, this person I talk to is stupid, and I want to tell them, but I can't because they get mad at me. But so yeah. So more than anything, here's another one too I want to talk about. Because we use this a lot. It's a curse and a blessing. Social media.
Yes.
We use it, but it can be a curse too, because some people use it in the wrong way. And on the dark side, you know, social media has a dark side and a bright side. And I tell people that. So when you messing with social media, you got to make sure you stand on the right side and use it the right way, because some people really use it in the wrong way all the way across the board. So
absolutely.
So how has social media enlightened your life?
So I tell people I'm human. I gotta have the last word in some situations. Sometimes I let my emotions get the best of me. When it comes to my personal life, it's never nothing with business or anything going on in the world and politics or nothing like that. It's always other stuff, and I'm always transparent. Anybody that follows me on social media, we all know I joke about it now. I could be in the Guinness Book of World Records for getting engaged, married, and divorced in less than a year. So it was a learning experience. And with that relationship, I had to walk through a lot of humility. A lot of my business getting put out there, me wanting to have the last word. So now I'm putting recordings of conversations out there to prove my case. And overall, people told me, oh, you're going to tarnish your brand. I lost a lot of clients afterwards, but it was all of the ones that had that narcissist characteristic to me. Right. So it was a good thing, I think, that I did slip onto the dark side of social media for a minute. And then I worked really hard to try to build it up. So then I went too professional on social media. Realized my numbers were going down on views and people communicating with me. And I just had to sit back one day and I had to realize everybody know you. Everyone knows that you're a sweet person. Anybody you meet, you usually get to know them kind of on a personal level with business too. Right. And I try to just be myself. I know it's a lot of people that say, oh, well, they only run their business from their business page. And then they have their personal page private. All of my stuff is public. I cross-promote everywhere because I tell people Simply Complete is a business. Fire and Ice is a business. Chit Chat with Naira is a business. But Naira Winay is also a brand where all of this stuff falls up under. So you got to be careful with social media, like, because it can really hurt you too. You got people that want to do screenshots, so you got to be careful what you do. One that I always tell people say, oh, well, we heard that you smoke marijuana. I know I smoke, but I'm not that person that's about to roll up and be on the internet either. Like, Thank you. So that's why I tell people, you can live your life, but social media don't have to know everything. Even the guy I'm with now, everybody was like, oh my gosh, we didn't even know you was dating nobody, because I waited before I told the world. So it's not your business, but go ahead. But I do tell people, when Facebook, when Instagram, all of these different platforms send those emails about different workshops and stuff they do and courses you could take on stuff, y'all do those workshops. I kid you not. I'm not just saying this because I host workshops, but workshops will surprise you. A good one for people to go look at is Neil Patel, Neilpatel, and he breaks down how to have Google, always knowing what's going on your websites, how to really engage on social media. A tip that I really enjoy from him. If anybody go look at one of my reels on Facebook, I have one where all you see is a piece of pie on the plate. It's just a piece of pie. You hear me smacking in the background, and I'm just talking about, how you can start your own business but still work from home and corporate world and all of that stuff. And he talks about how sometimes you have to post things that have absolutely nothing to do with your business to get people to engage with your business. So y'all look them up. Like those workshops that pop up be really beneficial.
Yeah, because social media, especially when you're on social media, you're out there, you put yourself out there, you put everything public. And I can just tell by the way you talk and carry yourself. Sometimes people take kindness for weakness on social media. But then when they meet you in person, like, oh no, she's far from weak. So you have to understand that. And you can't and then here's another thing I tell people too, and I know you like to make everything public. And I do a lot of stuff on social media. I get that, being a comedian and having these podcasts, but I also tell myself, I got to leave something for the imagination for myself as well as my fans. Because if I tell you everything, it won't be nothing else left for you to know about me as a person. Just like you said, a person was like, well, I didn't know you had a man, but that's personal. I never put my personal, like I have a wife, I have 2 kids. I never ever put them on, out there like that because I don't want them having to deal with some of this social media crazy stuff. My son don't even have a social media page. So I'm just telling you, I have no problem dealing with some of these fools, whether they're saying negative comments or positive comments, because I know how to handle it. The best comment is no comment. So long story short, that's for me to handle. But I don't want them to have to deal with that. That's why I can really relate to stars, entertainers, and professional basketball player athletes, what they go through. I understand when they like, hey, I'm just, this is my personal business. Y'all need to back up. I get that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And some people, but I think some people just want to vent. They just want to be heard and mess with other people. That's what their platform is for social media. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And you got to watch it because it's called karma. It'll come back and bite you. And I'm going to tell you a little quick story here, which you've probably already seen through social media on the internet and on TV. Wendy Williams. I seen a picture of her the other day. She looked bad. Now, I'm going to say this about her. She used to talk bad about people a lot on her show all the time. Now, I'm going to say how karma can come back and bite you.
Right.
It's bitten her several times. Here's Ed, y'all. I give up for Ed. He's the manager down here. He's the guy running the show down here. He's the only reason why I'm able to put this big old head in this place here and do this podcast. So
we had to get a wide angle lens.
Yeah. But she has to realize that a lot of things she said on TV about people's wives, husbands, different things. Well, guess what? Coming back biting. So you have to watch what you say, put out there. You really do. So I tell people that. That's why I said I love social media, but it's a love-hate relationship. I make sure I only put out there what I want to be put out there, which I can handle if it comes back. Now, some things it comes back that I may not be able to handle, but I do handle it anyway. Because I always tell myself the best comment is no comment. I had a friend of mine on my page one day. I put a meme. I put a lot of different memes, different stuff on my page. It was about the best comment is no comment. And one of my friends said, he said, "Oh no," he said, "I'm sorry, I gotta say something." I said, "Well, that's on you. But when you say something, just realize that's you, not that person, and you just looking for a reply." You know what I'm saying? So I gotta say something. When you one of them type of people, no, I don't have to say nothing. Because if the person don't comment, like my grandma used to say, if you don't have nothing positive, nothing great to say about nobody, don't say nothing at all.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of social media. If you don't like what somebody's talking about, you could delete them. You could keep scrolling. If you decide to indulge into it, you to open that door now. So if you comment and someone say something off the wall, hey, you chose to comment. Just block them. You do not have to worry about everything on social media. That's the beauty of it. You can easily delete. So
it's a beautiful thing, social media. It really is, and you can do a lot of things with it. But just remember that a lot of backlash will come back if you put the wrong things out there that you can't handle, and people come to you about it. So, what was one more thing here? But this is one here because you was kind of talking about this is one. Well, 2 more things here real quick. I keep going over here. Here we go. Yeah, and this has affected everybody. I think has the pandemic affected you as well as your business and everything? I mean, because I know, and it seems like it's coming back a little bit because people wearing masks and stuff. People here right now wearing masks.
Mhm.
We conscious of it, but I just feel like that it's never went nowhere. It just kind of marinated. You know what I'm saying? It never went nowhere. It's kind of marinated. And we as people have got to realize it's still out there and still take it serious. But that's something kind of like social media. It can be a curse, a real bad curse if you don't respect it. So
Oh,
how has
absolutely.
pandemic affected you and your business and everything you're doing in general?
You know what? Eric, when I tell people this, they think I'm crazy. The pandemic was the best thing that happened for me.
Me too,
And
a
now,
little bit. Go ahead.
now let me tell y'all why. So, at the beginning of the pandemic, I'm trying to remember. Okay, at the beginning of it, I had just moved into my 2-bedroom apartment because I was living in a 1-bedroom. I was single for
Okay.
forever, small daughter, 1-bedroom.
Okay.
And I had to go back and forth to the location for my salary job. She was
Okay.
going to daycare, all of these things. And so much was going on that I had kind of put my businesses on the back burner from
Right.
like 2017 up until like the end of 2019.
Wow.
And
Okay.
when the pandemic happened, we got sent home from work. I was grateful for that because I was still able to work. It
Okay.
freed up childcare costs. I was
Yeah.
able to focus more on my business because
Okay.
one thing I tell people, if you work from home, no matter what industry is in, you have more time because you're at home. So you'll be like, okay, well, I know I work 7 to 3. Let me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and run my business. Let me run in on my lunch break, things like that.
Right.
So we got into this world where we didn't know what was going to happen. So I went
Right.
into entrepreneurship overdrive. What can I do to keep my business going? What can I do
Mhm.
virtually? Even as
Right.
a notary, the pandemic opened up in Illinois for us to be able to notarize documents through Zoom as long as we record the
Wow.
conversation and to be
Mhm.
able to do electronic signings and things like that. So
Right.
it gave me that push because we didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, well, what if my job
Mhm.
decides to close down or anything? So for
Mhm.
me, it pushed me. I opened up my office for my business during the
Uh-huh.
pandemic. Last
Right.
August 1st. It's been a year since I've had a public
Uh-huh.
location for people to come into. And I launched a couple of other businesses. So to me, the pandemic is what I needed to push myself to say, hey, anything can happen. Do you want to be one of those people that would have been working in the food industry where some restaurants closed down here in the area I'm in and they never reopened? So
Wow.
it was the push I need, and it gave me that desire to want to push other individuals to
Mhm.
treat their business as their main source of income and let the 9 to 5 be your side hustle.
Right.
I always tell people, no, that W-2 job is your side hustle. Your
Yeah.
passion, that's your career. So
That's right. It's called a hobby, basically. The other one's
yes.
one's a career, one's a hobby. And you right on it. The pandemic, you're right. It really pushed people into a mode of either you're gonna make it or you're not. You're gonna go into another
Yep.
drive. You can't do your job. You got to do something else. So what they said, yeah, I got a government job, but then I was doing
Mhm.
stand-up comedy as my hobby on the side. Now, with that
Yes.
said, I couldn't get on stage no more. And you talking about a frustrated big head light skinned comedian. I was frustrated.
Ooh,
So
yes.
with that said, I said I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I have to give much love to where it's due, and that's my queen, my wife. She said, well, since you can't get on stage, why don't you just start a podcast? And here I
I
am
like
today,
her.
2 years later. Like I said, here I am. So here I am 2 years later. You see where I'm going at with this? So I said, you know what, she's
Mhm.
got a good point. And I went ahead and started this podcast, and it's been going ever since. And I do it once a month. Some people are like, well, why don't you, how come you don't do it every week or whatever? And the only reason why I do it once a month is because that's the way I started. I'm gonna keep doing like it because I have a
Yes.
lot of things, a lot of other hats I have to wear in my life. Father,
Hmm.
husband, comedian, actor. I have a whole lot of hats I wear. So not to say I don't love my podcast, not to say I don't want to give it love, which I give it plenty of love, and I'm always trying to upgrade it. I just got my intro here about 3 or 4 podcasts ago. I just finally got my intro, and it's just that I wanted to take my time with this baby. I want it to grow on its own. It's like when you plant a seed, you let it grow. You won't rush it. You be like, oh, you need to hurry up, bro, pull it out of there. No, you put water on it, you nurture it. And this is my baby here, this podcast. And that pandemic
Exactly.
pushed me to this. And I'm grateful for that through God. So
Yeah.
I really am. So, and I for that alone, I love them. With that said, too, I also have to respect the pandemic because I've got a couple people that passed away and friends from the pandemic. So I have to also respect it in the same breath
Yeah.
to push me into overdrive and in life. Because there are a lot of people out here walking around with no plan whatsoever, just walking around.
That's true.
Either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. And the people who are not getting it get mad at the ones who are getting it.
Yep.
So I always stay focused on just keep doing what you're doing. I don't pay no attention to them because they're going to feel some type of way anyway. So, but yeah, the pandemic, I definitely respect it. And it made me a better person, really. It opened my eyes up to a lot of different things and some great people, too. Hey, look, I met you. I'm with you. I got you on my podcast. So it just, so it really did. Here's the last one here I'm going to hit you with. I got it on the bottom here. Let me see. Let me hide it. Okay. Family. Yeah, I know that's a big one. Yeah.
I always tell people family is a touchy subject because I have some family that support the mess out of everything I do. My dad, my mom, my stepmom, I call him my man, and I tell people he's my boyfriend, but he treats me like a wife, so I put man and husband together, and he's my man.
Right.
And like even now with being on here, I told him, hey, I have an interview tonight, and he was like, well, don't worry about Princess, I'm gonna keep her busy. That's not even his blood child, but the way he helps me with her as if he helped make her, it makes it so easy to do my business. I have family members that I fell out with since I became a business owner, so it's just a little bit of both, but overall most of my family really support and congratulate. But I remember when I first told them I was starting a business, a few family members laughed. And I don't know if they thought I were joking. Now fast forward now to 2022, they actually respect the fact that wow, she gets out there and busts her butt every day for her business. I always tell people, and this some people should definitely, y'all, if y'all can screen record what I'm about to say, do it.
Right.
Your business is profitable every day you do something. So if you're making money, of course you got a profit. If you booking a consultation, it's a profit. If you get somebody to share something and it's somebody that's never shared it before, you profited off of something with your business that day. Every profit is not monetary. So yeah, family, don't let them get in your head. A lot of family members will wear that fear for you. Maybe you a risk taker, but they're so scared that something bad will happen that they don't know how to support you because they fear that it won't be successful. Don't let their fear overflow into you.
Yeah. Family is I ain't gonna say that. I'll say this about family. I love my family, but there's some family members I have to love from a distance.
Yes.
But they're saying, I love my family, but there's some family, I mean, they're gonna be family regardless where they're at in this world. But what they're saying, some of them I don't have to deal with them. I try to get along with all my family members because you never know when family you're gonna need a family member, whatever. And I understand that part of it. But also too, they gotta understand too, on the other side of it is family sometimes can hold you back from things, dreams or whatever you're trying to do in life. So at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for you, not for somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's because they're gonna always feel some type of way anyway. So and like I said, I love my family, but and I love put you like this. My family circle's tight. As far as my wife, my kids are tight. Then I got a friend family circle. That, small though, but not big. Because we use that word friend loosely. That's my friend. No. Like my father told me a long time ago, God rest his soul. He said, you only got maybe 2 or 3 friends on one end. He said, He said they're associates.
Exactly.
There's a difference. So you have to understand that when you're doing something in business and carrying yourself a certain way, a lot of people want a piece of you in business. When you got a nice business or whatever you're doing, being a comedian or a professional athlete, you have to understand you got to do what's best for you. That's why I never judge nobody for that does what's best for them. It's easy to sit back if you're not in somebody else's shoe and make a judgmental call. A lot of people do it all the time. So I got some comments here. Let me go and get to that. But family is important because a couple of them was my buddy Scott Greenwood said, "You grinding, bro. I hang, but I'm watching the Steelers." He's a Steelers fan. I get that. I'm a Steelers fan too. I'm gonna say this: you up in Illinois, don't tell me you're a Bears fan. If you are, I just pray for you. But
you know what? I always tell people I'm Illinois, but I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. So
Oh, okay.
We already know. I don't care if the Detroit Tigers don't have a good
Detroit
team.
Tigers. Okay, all right. The Lions,
Um,
well, Detroit Lions ain't too much better, but they trash. So.
And I'm a Michigan girl, so when it comes to college, definitely Wolverines fan. So
yeah, I got my friend here, Tab T. She says Shay Smith, and she shrugs to you. Okay, that's great, Tab. Like I said, I love Tab T. She's publishing books. Y'all go get one of her books or whatever. Go to her page, Tab T. And I got number love for you, Tab. Keep publishing the books. Also, too, like I said, that like I said, family is very important. So let me see what else I got here. I think that's about it. I just wanted to go over a couple things there. And is there anything you got for me? Because I do want before I get out of here, I always tell my guests before I sign off or whatever to elaborate a little bit more on yourself and how they can get in contact with you. Put that out there, your link, your Facebook page, because you're so public. So just put it out there. Right? So, and also, too, that free business workshop, I want to put that on my page. I may have already, because anything free is in my budget. So I'm telling you off the top, this is my budget. So yeah, put it. I want it all out there. So put it all out there. How they get in contact with you and everything before we get out of it.
Absolutely. So for anything that has to do with business services, y'all, I do free one-on-ones with individuals throughout the month and everything. So anything Simply Complete related, you can visit our website, www.simplycompleteonline.com. You can give me a call or shoot me a text on the business line, area code 309-420-3475. I'm on social media, Simply Complete PR on Instagram as well as on Facebook. You can search me by Nara Winay and get in touch with me on all platforms. The podcast Chit Chat with Nara is available on every way you can listen to a podcast. You can check that out. For the workshop, the Girl, Let Me Tell You, that's the name of the free workshop for the women entrepreneurs. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. Even though it's a free workshop, when you do sign up to get your ticket, you are emailed the members only website that I created for it, where the speakers are giving out free resources, discounts, the stuff they offer. You can read the bios on the different speakers, all of that good stuff on there. I have another workshop that's going on right now. Now this one you do have to pay for, but it is an early bird special for it. It is helping people become virtual assistants. That was something I started doing a little bit more when the pandemic came. I do it up under Simply Complete. And I'm teaching other people how to do it, giving you all the templates that I use to get my clients, the exact wording, how I stay organized so that you can start to land some good leads to get you some business to be an assistant in it. Yeah, y'all, just look me up on social media. As far as my seasoning go, you could go on Facebook to Royalties Fun Night Some More, where you can find out about different events we'll be at. New flavors we have coming out with drinks. Order the seasonings. Taste our world famous Michigan style ponies when we at different events. So follow me on social media, y'all. It's the best way to get in touch with me outside of that phone number and website I gave you. And my journals and planners are available on my website in the digital copy. And you can also get physical forms of it on Amazon. So yeah, that's how you get in touch with me.
That's great, because you got to put yourself out there in order to get the work you need. I'm going to take all that from your page. You can check messages, all the stuff with that, so I can put it on my page, because I got a lot of followers and a lot of friends, and so you just never know who may call you or whatever. So
that's true.
And I tell them to definitely link up with you, because you're doing a lot of big things. I know, especially a free business workshop. So anything free, and then, let me say this too. A lot of times people get in business and they don't know the ins and outs of business and stuff. So LLC, things like that, I don't want to go too deep into it, but there's a lot of things you got to know about business. And you think you do, you're like, well, I didn't know that. So it's good for these free business workshops, so you can be aware of some of these things when you step into this arena, because the business world is totally different, and you need to know all that, because it can help you out, especially if you're just starting to try to get your business off the ground and you don't know a lot of the ins and outs on the business. So, and the virtual thing is definitely great, because a lot of people are doing a lot of virtual business, which I think is great.
Yes.
I mean, you know what? Because I might have to hit one of them up, because I've been trying to, I'm going to put it out there. You know what? I want to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there anyway. That's what I do. But anyway, I've been wanting to get my own app.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to too. I'm going to do it. And I've been looking to some things. Maybe I need to get into a free biz workshop to see which direction I can go with this free app. But I want to get my app with my name and my brand on it and everything. I'm on. And also, let me give love to this podcast. I'm on like once a week sometimes more than once a week. Mook in the Morning. It's on Instagram. Y'all check out every night. It's 9:00 every morning on Instagram. Mook in the Morning. And the reason why it's called Mook in the Morning, I think Mook is a real good person. I think he's part of the Wu-Tang Clan. So with that said, and they got a big concert tour coming in August 30th. But Mook in the Morning has a great podcast, and I'm always putting my podcast out there, my brand. And matter of fact, the person that's the host is Mook in the Morning. She's always like, "You always talking light skin stuff." Yeah, I said, "That's my brand." I said, "That's why I'm always talking light skin stuff." She said, "You crazy?" She said, "But I love it." I said, "Yeah." So, but yeah, Mook in the Morning is a great podcast. Check that out too. And I put it on my page if y'all want to see it. I put it on my page every now and then. So, but it's very important to brand yourself and put yourself out there so people can see what you're doing and everything. And that's the only way you can elevate in life and as well as in business, is putting yourself out there so you can go farther in life with business and everything. But that free business workshop is definitely great. And I hope people take up on that. I got another comment here. Take up on that. So the name of her book. Okay, I got you. The name of the book is Charnel Carthen. Okay, is that the name of your book, Tab T? Charnel Carthen. If nothing else, I'm just telling them to come to Tab T on Facebook. Y'all go add Tab T as a friend so you can go help her and support her books. I got you, Queen. All right,
me and her got to link up. I'm very skilled at helping people publish books. You need to link up with her, Tab T. But, we're going to have to connect.
I tell people that's what's about. That's why, we on this platform. That's why I got you on this platform so people can know what we out here trying to do as far as our business and everything. Let me see if there's anything. But before I get out of here, let me say this. I always got to say this. BHLC podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. BHLC podcast. Subscribe. And on Facebook Live, it's Big Head Light Skin Comic LB. So they're all connected together. So, I appreciate everything y'all do, people that are following me, supporting me. I appreciate you being my guest on here, Nora. You definitely was a blessing. I love your spirit, your whole vibe and everything. I mean, and I'm definitely going to have you back. That's not even a question. Yeah. I love your vibe, and we'll definitely link up or whatever. And I'm going to get a lot of information off your page and they put on my page because I got to promote what you're doing because I know, Queen, you out there hustling hard doing it, So, like I said, I have a regular job, but my hobby is comedy, and I love it. I love comedy. I love this podcast, and I'm always hustling to make it better and do better with it. So, with that said, I appreciate everybody tuning in to the BHLC podcast. The next one is September the 10th. I do it every second Saturday of the month. September the 10th is the next one. And I hope everybody tune in. I have another great guest. And I like to tell people, this is what I'm going to tell you, like I started off with in the beginning. The LSI. Learn, share, and inspire. You'll be surprised where that take you to. If you don't do nothing else, love yourself and love God. It's been real. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you. Just keep doing what you do and listen to your father. Us fathers.
All the time.
We talk about us fathers
right now.
I got a daughter. Okay, I'm like, so I feel him on there. Just tell him I feel him. So. Listen to your father. We know.
Oh, yeah.
But I really appreciate having you, Noah. And I'm going to have you back and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I keep doing what you're doing. I'm keep pushing what you're doing too. And I just appreciate you being a guest on. You ain't got no questions for me, do you? I always ask before I get off.
Look, I gotta do you like I do everybody else now. Don't be surprised when I get in your inbox saying
I'm gonna support that podcast too. Send me a podcast because I need to.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, and nope, I'm sure we gonna be in touch more. Like you said, you out here hustling, and I learned a lot about you during the podcast too. So I'm gonna have to definitely send you a nice email to see what services my brand can offer yours and all of that good stuff. So. I'm sure we're gonna stay in touch after this interview.
I like to watch your podcast and see what it's about. I'll definitely tune in and put it on my page, so it's people want to learn. They want to learn, they want to learn. That's what I said, learn, share, and inspire, learn. And that's something else real quick before I get off here. And the pandemic taught me this even more. I was doing it before, but I'm doing it even more nowadays. I do a lot of reading. Strengthen my man. I read a lot.
Oh yeah, you got to. Like you have to.
Gotta read. I read a lot, and it strengthened me so much. You know what I'm saying? All type of books I read. So, and I guess I need to get Tab T's book. That's what she gonna probably say in a minute. Working on the tab anyway. But I love reading because I do strengthen your man. The words strengthen your man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we gotta read to be strong. But with that said, I'm the BHLC, Big Head Light Skin Comedian. Thank you for tuning in to the BHLC podcast. Subscribe to me on YouTube, on Facebook Live, Facebook Comic, LB. Thank you so much, Noah. It's been a great evening. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep supporting you, and you send me all that stuff, and I definitely put it on my page, and we'll definitely talk. Nothing else to be said. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, the BHLC podcast is just not over yet. Hey, man, go get Ed for me. Could you go get Ed for me? Before I sign off tonight, I want to let Ed come talk to y'all about what he got going on here tonight and down the road. But like I said, tonight, Sign of the Swarm is playing right now. And y'all need to come down to 21st in Germantown if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, and come support them. And they have a whole lot of other things going on. Also, too, I've done a lot of comedy shows down here I've hosted. I'll eventually have one coming up too soon again. I'll definitely put that out there. More than anything, like I said, learn, share, and inspire in this world because if you don't learn, you don't share and inspire, so you have to be just better yourself. So, I'm down here in 21st Germantown. And this is the first time I've held my BHLC podcast here, and I'm definitely going to be back here September 10th. So y'all tune in at 8 o'clock, September 10th. I'll be right here. Here he come right now. Look at him. Here he come. All right. My man Ed here. He's the manager here. And I just met the owner, Bob. Bob's a great guy. I like Bob more than Ed because he owned the place. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Ed, yeah, we sure do. It's my light-skinned brother, Ed. Yeah, Ed, tell him what you got going on here at 21st Germantown.
Well, tonight I've got a hardcore metal show.
Okay.
With Signs of the Swarm, National Touring Act.
Okay.
Insectarchy.
Is it coming?
Human Tragedy and Narthex are all here tonight.
Okay, and what you got coming up and down the road? Anything else coming up down the road?
Yes, we have country music star Rain Johnson is coming up on September 2nd.
Okay, I heard that. Country folks like country music.
We've got comedy legend Henry Cho, September 23rd.
Oh, very funny guy. Definitely got to see him if you want to laugh.
And then we've got all kinds of local original music and comedy scheduled here all the time.
Yeah, y'all heard that. Come out here. They got great food, great drinks. I'm sitting here looking at this pool table. Pool table look nice. I can shoot pool a little bit, but I wouldn't take your money. But anyway, long story short, this is a great environment. Y'all come down and support this. 1481 South Shelby Street here in Louisville, Kentucky. If you got any questions about the place or whatever, ask for Big Ed. He'll take care of you.
Tab. I see you in the chat.
Yep, Tab T. Much love to you for what you're doing. And y'all come down and support this here in Louisville. It's a great venue, and they're doing nice things down here. So, and with that said, the BHLC podcast will be back here September 10th if Ed and Bob allow me to come back. So, and appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I told y'all earlier, LSI, learn, share, and inspire. That's what it's about with being a human being. Learn, share, and inspire. It's been real. Tune in September 10th, 8 o'clock. I'll be right back here. I love y'all. I'm the Big Head Light Skin Comedian. Love y'all. I'm out.
Peace out.
Yeah.